Get that hype music in there. Get the audio check out the way. Have us a powwow here. Awesome topic. We had Kevin on before, and he's the one that kind of opened the door for this. We weren't going in that direction, but he started mentioning X-Men, and it captured a lot of people's attention. Got me to looking into some things. Audio's good. Excellent. Absolutely excellent. Let's see here. I'm going to find this. This folder is empty. All right. One quick little adjustment. All right. All right. So we got some pretty compelling 1902 stuff. We don't even have to mention all the really weird stuff about 1902 that I've covered in my videos. We can mention, I mean, there's a lot of edits, strange things in the maritime world. Thank you, Be Lazy K. Yeah, that was a great podcast with the Veritas project. I posted that on X and I posted that in the community just recently. So that was a good one. It was a good one. So let's see here. Kevin, if you're listening, Keith, if you're listening, I sent you the invite link a while ago in your emails with about 3 or 4 other emails I was waiting on responses for. I don't know if our guest is going to join us or not, but you guys already know I've done my homework and we're going to go deep into it. I hope he joins us because I know he's going to add flavor. But if not, no worries. I have been stood up before, whether it was by accident or malice. And I have always done just fine in these presentations. So I do have, before we start on this amazing ride, yeah, we're going to go through movies. We're going to go through X-Men, DC Comics, Marvel. Yeah, we're going to do it right here. I hope Kevin joins us, but if not, I'm prepared. And we're gonna go through 1902, and we're gonna make the connections because it's compelling. It is very, very interesting. Karen, what you laughing at? It is showtime. Oh, guess who just joined me backstage? There he is. Get my announcements out and Aaron ads out, and we'll invite Keith onto the stage. I have a feeling that time zone may have confused him. So, check this out. Today is the 29th. You have the 30th and the 31st, and then we're done. No more Cypher announcements. No more Cypher subscriptions. That's over with. Last night, I did a very detailed, simplifying everything to its lowest common denominators for using the Cypher software for personal and professional predictions, because those are very different than measuring the markets and measuring sports outcomes. So that it's on YouTube now, but that's only available through our private group on Telegram. So other than that, I don't have very many announcements. I still think Glen Rose, Dinosaur State Park, the Creation Museum, the place where I showed all the fossils, I still think that's on the table. Although I'm going to do it differently. I'm not going to sell tickets. I'm not going to make money off this event. I'm just going to go because I enjoyed the place. It's a place I went in my childhood twice. And once I announce the date, I'll tell it. I mean, once I decide what dates, 2 or 3 days are good, sometime this year, a little later this year, I want to give everybody 2 or 3 months preparation. And you just contact them and book your own campsite, book your own bungalow or cabins. There's plenty of hotels and motels nearby, and there's places on the state park. $7 a ticket to get 2-day access all to everything on the state park. There are huge areas where hundreds of people can meet and convene right there on the Paluxy River, and it's sheltered. It's outdoors, but they got roofs, and there's plenty of places to barbecue, and we can just have the time of it. We can all just hang out for a couple of days and go to the Creation Museum, check out the scientific labs, check out the hyperbaric chambers where they're replicating vapor canopy conditions. It's amazing. So we'll be doing that, Glen Rose, sometime this year, but it's not going to be an official Archaix event. I just want everybody to show up who wants to come. I'm not going to sell tickets. Now, also, I've talked about Cypher. You already know that the new Awaken the Immortal Within, Reawaken the Immortal Within PDF is available in the description box. Yeah, so that's about it. I do have a precious errant ad to add to the flow before Keith and I commence to blow in your mind. Because I got a lot. I don't know what Keith is bringing to the table, but I got a lot of pretty compelling stuff I found too. Now, for the errant ad, the description at the end of the video, you can check out the description box, and you can see all of her links. They're not there yet, but they will be there at the end of the video. So let's go ahead and at the beginning, toward the beginning, and toward the end of each video, you will see an errant ad. If I have them, I'm running out because I've got almost all of them done. But let's see. I got one more box open to share. Let me share this real quick and check out what she's got to say.
Your vibration can determine your experience in this reality. Work with me one-on-one to transform the energy of disturbances in the energetic field using alchemical tools that improve, center, and uplift. This is great for animals as well. Contact me, Caitlin Ross Odom, at Shen Ring Healing Arts for a free 20-minute consult.
Okay, so that's the Cosmic Jeweler, and she's got some links, and I'll put quite a bit. I have a whole page right here, a bunch of links. I think we have Facebook, Instagram, 2 Instagrams, YouTube, official website. This is Caitlin Ross Odom, the Cosmic Jeweler. She's been doing this for 25 years, so we'll be checking her out in the description box after the video, and we will revisit this errant ad afterward. All right. With all my announcements out the way, my errant ad is done. There is no reason to hesitate to bring in this miscreant here. Hey, Keith, how you doing, man?
What's up, man? I'm sorry.
You almost missed the bus.
I did. I don't know how. I was thinking 4 o'clock my time for some reason.
That's all right. You know,
ready.
I've already done over 500 podcasts, and you know what? There's been many of them that I got the time zones wrong on. Happens all the time. I think I almost missed my very first video with Santos Bonacci.
So you always got 500 videos. I think I'm going to have about 5 videos. I always got 5 videos in me, not 500.
Okay, that's good. Hey, is his audio pretty good? Can you guys hear him?
Yeah, let me know.
So if you guys don't know, those of you who don't know Keith, let me tell you the story. First of all, I did an open Q&A, which I'll be doing soon when I bring people from the chat onto the screen with me. And Keith and I chopped it up in a Q&A, and we got to talking about things. And next thing I know, I said, man, you know what? It's too much right here. This is too much for Q&A. Let's go ahead and just invite you onto the channel. And he came onto the channel. And he doesn't really have a channel of his own. He's not really doing anything at the time. So he just came onto my channel, and we just chopped it up. And he started talking about X-Men. Why did he do that? All of a sudden, the chat exploded, and people wanted to know more. about the X-Men connections, and are they dropping truth bombs in there disguised as fiction? And so we decided, you know what, this video is not big enough to contain everything that we're trying to talk about. So let's just go ahead and back up and set a date in the future to air all this out. Talk about 1902, X-Men, maybe Marvel and DC comic narratives a little bit, things about what, just truth drops in the movies in general. So that's what we're here to do today. And like I said, I came armed. I don't know what Keith's bringing to the table, but I came armed. So this video might go on a little bit longer than normal. So what? Since our last talk, man, what you found, man? What did we talk about last time that just piqued our interest? Like, remind me what we talked about in the X-Men. I know one of them was about the Phoenix.
Yeah, I think that you kind of narrowed that they were talking about changing ecliptics.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, because you were telling me some storylines, because I don't really follow the X-Men.
Right.
And you were telling me some storylines. I'm like, what the hell? This is a description. Yeah, I remember now. Yeah.
All right. I got a couple other things too. I got something that I found with the Kennedys, like the real, like what looks to be the real Kennedy curse.
Oh yeah. Let's sum it up. Let's do that last.
Okay. Do you want to start with the? You tell me.
Man, you just start wherever you want to, man. I can always fill in blanks.
All right. Let's see. Well, the Kennedy thing's quick. It'll just get us warmed up. All right. Can I drive here, or how does this work?
What are you trying to do?
I just want to show the math on. Actually, I don't even have to pull it up. If you guys want to see it, I can do it. But so the Kennedy curse, like the actual.
You can share your screen.
Okay.
Do you have it on your screen, or are you trying to show it on camera?
Yeah, I'll put it on the screen.
If you already have it on your desktop, you can share the screen.
All right. Well, walk me through that. What do I do?
Okay, there's an option that says share. It's a plus sign. You hit the plus sign, and it gives you an option to share screen.
Plus.
It's got like 4 little protocols you got to go through. But if you're not really used to it, I can see it can be confusing.
I see the mic, the camera, settings.
Okay, you at the bottom of the screen, you don't see a little symbol that looks like a computer screen with a plus sign on it.
Share screen.
You see it?
Yes. Which tab? Okay. Got it. All right. So you guys can see that then? Is that?
Nothing's popped up yet.
What about that?
Still waiting. Yeah, a lot say those who are unfamiliar with StreamYard are not going to get it right. They're just I have a history with people who are not familiar with StreamYard. They just don't get the share screen feature. I don't know why they've made it so difficult, but just go ahead and tell us about it, man. There ain't nothing popping up.
All right.
Oh, Keith, hold on.
You see that?
Is this what you're trying to show? That's what you're trying to show?
Yeah.
Okay, is there any way to make that bigger for us to see it on screen?
Is it bigger now?
Nope. Same size.
How about now?
No, it's just so tiny I can barely see it. So I know they can barely see it. I'm on a large screen too. Craig Sweeney, congratulations. Book of the Damned. Now you need to read Wild Talents, you need to read Low, and you need to read Strange Lands. Those are the other 3 Charles Fort books. And then you will be a Fortean veteran. Hey, if you guys can see that, that's cool. I just can't really see it on my computer. That's fine. I'll listen to you, though.
Can you see what that says there? Kennedy curse?
I do now. Yeah, it's real tiny for me.
All right. Well, the whole thing was with the numeric value is 144, right?
Okay, so in gematria, What cipher are you using?
It's the very first one, ordinal.
You're using ordinal. This is like Babylonian or
Uh,
ordinal
the
would
only-
be
the
just
only one
regular
that-
English alphabet numeric. I don't know
Right.
anything about gematria, bro.
No, you're right. A is 1, B is 2, C is 3. It's the most simple cipher. My
Okay.
point is that
I got you.
the 144. So this is nuts. So there's Charles Bouvier Kennedy. He died when he was 2 days old, and he died on the day leaving 144 days in the year, right?
Mhm.
Then RFK is killed 144 days after meeting with the Pope. And then RFK Jr. files his paperwork for presidency 144 days from also meeting with the Pope. And then when JFK was killed, he's pronounced at 1:44 a.m. So the kid dies on the day leaving 144 days. Kennedy curse equals 144. It's just insane.
So 144 being 12 times 12, it is the number of a cycle within a cycle, or the closure of a cycle. 144 is also a golden proportion number. It's in the Fibonacci sequence. It's based off 1.618. So 144 is found in the old day count systems as a common denominator in the Vedic, Sumerian, Mayan, Quiche, and Sumerian calendars. It is one of the core fundamental divisors in all those calendars, 144.
Right.
But that's not as surprising to me, because being 12 times 12, we're just, when you reduce it to its lowest common denominator, 144 is a part of the Sumerian sexagesimal system based off the number 6. But I just wanted to mention, I don't have a lot to add to what you're talking about right here, but it is very weird that the Pope keeps coming up in my field, because I woke up this morning with an email from somebody named Arthur Danu, who wants to come on my channel and talk about different things. And I asked somebody else, because anytime somebody introduces themselves and they want to come on my channel and talk, I have a couple people that I can reach out to and say, hey, what do you know about this individual? What's going on? And I was directed to their YouTube channel, and this guy is claiming to be a pope, claiming to be the Pope. And I'm like, man, there's no way I can have you on my channel. You're not going to have some Jesuit assassins coming over here to Willis, Texas to take me out. I'm not biting that. Yeah, I'm not biting on that bar.
I would have never said this out loud in my life until you just said Jesuit assassin. But, 10 years ago or so, maybe even longer than that, I might have watched a thing or two that was like, I don't even want to say Galactic Federation adjacent, but some weird stuff, right? So, you get into this and you say, all right, this is all bullshit. But then this guy, who was on a channel with some Galactic Federation, is talking about a Jesuit priest coming to assassinate him, telling the story about it. And it's like, there's got to be something going on if these Jesuit priests are running around.
Listen, since we're talking about it, it's really weird. One of the things about 1902 that's crazy is all the really unusual archaeological excavations that were going around all over the world, and every one of these sites have everything to do with the 138-year Phoenix phenomenon. So one of these sites is the Hyphagium on Malta, which was destroyed in a tsunami in 2239 BC in the month of May, when the Mediterranean was literally created, and the Great Pyramid and the Sphinx was damaged from the tsunami, and the Sphinx stayed underwater for 340 years, and this is what damaged the Great Pyramid and got all the weathering on the pyramid, on the casing blocks. So you can see the wave patterns on the upper part of the pyramid when it was underwater. And this is what's crazy is that in 1902, this guy is excavating on Malta, and he finds inside the Gigantia temple and in the Hyphagium, there are large human skeletons with very long skulls. This is vapor canopy anatomy. And he makes all these weird discoveries in archaeology, artifacts and skeletons that are all crammed into the Hyphagium, as if they were buried alive there, and the things that were being pulled out attracted the attention of the Pope, the Vatican. They sent a Jesuit archaeologist, and the man took over the excavation, and the original discoverer vanished from history. No one knows what happened to that dude. But the Jesuit archaeologist took over the excavations at the Hypogeum in the year 1902.
And this strange and awful history that we talk about a little bit here and there,
Yeah,
the Martinique. So,
I have that book.
I know. So then that the French were already dug in. The Jesuits were already dug in. The guy who invented when they measured the bottom of the ocean, when they measured the ocean floor a couple weeks prior, and it went from like 300 feet to like 2,000.
Yep.
So
well, I'll tell you exact numbers. The United States had a scientific ship off the coast of Martinique, and they had measured the sea. They had measured the sea at 3,400. The depth around Martinique was 3,400 feet, and excuse me. I'm sorry. It was 600 feet. But when they came back after the volcanic explosion and measured, it was now 4,000 feet. It had dropped 3,400 feet just from the volcanic explosion all around the island. The island was still the same elevation. The sea was still the same elevation. But all the area around the volcano underwater had dropped 3,400 feet in altitude.
I can't remember the guy's name, but he was a Jesuit. He was credited for the invention of that technology.
Wow. Crazy. What is this? The Phoenix 1982 TV series.
So this is what we need to watch. I don't if we can play it on like a ×2 speed or something if you're worried about like a copyright thing, but this is the trailer of the Return of the Phoenix that I needed you to see. I need everybody to see, really.
Oh man, I don't know about showing the video.
All right, we don't have to. But
yeah,
this is the one that I was talking about where it's like the same like plot line as an AI getting a physical body.
Wow, really? And this is 1982?
Yeah, this is the one I was trying to tell you about last time. I was like, yeah, I have to watch you watch this.
Well, I'm pretty sure a bunch of people listening to us are going to go check it out.
That's
but
good.
You said AI too. This is 1982 because I have, excuse me, I uncovered some stuff about the Marvel universe in the backstories of Wolverine and Sabretooth and the backstories of Jean Grey. I had no idea. It's not in any of the movies, right, but it's in the comics, in the backstories. All the origins of all these superheroes, their families, Batman, Gotham, Bruce Wayne, wealth and all that, it's all turn of the century, 1900, 1901, and 1902 is when all the strange experiments were going on in the Marvel universe and in the DC Comics universe. I couldn't believe I found this. I'm listening to all this, and they're talking about AI soldiers, artificial intelligence being used to control super soldiers, and all of this was designed as early as 1902. And this is in the backstory of these comics, man. Blew my mind.
There's one where it tells you or insinuates very heavily that Bruce Wayne's grandfather was one of the founders of Skull and Bones.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah, we're not going to show the video clip on here because YouTube's been real. I don't put commercials in my videos.
Yeah.
And with almost 1,000 videos, and I have a super high retention rate, meaning people watch my videos almost all the way through. Also, they watch the same IP address is watching the same video multiple times.
Right.
So it means the content is good. People are returning to it, but YouTube doesn't like the fact that I'm not allowing commercials in my content.
Right.
So they've been hitting me with these copyright notices deal. They're not strikes, but they're irritating as hell because they're going back to my older videos and they're finding just any little thing to nitpick with and sending me notices that we had to demonetize this video because such and such music is now owned by such and such company. And I bought the copyrights, but the problem is when you buy the copyright to use a video clip or a piece of music, Like all my intro music is all copyrighted, but I own I own copyright licensing agreement because I paid for it. But it doesn't. But these companies are smart. Once no one's really buying their music anymore or their video clips, they just sell the company to a new company, and then all bets are off. And then I no longer that's no longer honored. They just change some nuances in the music, call it something else, and next thing you know, YouTube's hitting me up talking about well, there's copyright little violations. The reason they do this, the motive to do this, is because anytime they can hit me with a copyright notice on any one of my old, even my 4 and 5 year old videos are getting hit. So the reason they do this is because as soon as they demonetize a video, they spam it. Every 5 minutes, they put 3 or 4 ads in there, and I have no control over that. Well, I'm not going to let that happen to my channel. So I'm about to move a bunch of my content onto another platform, and I'm going to keep that content absolutely commercial free. So it's not cool what they're doing, but there's no way I can stop them.
I've put up a few videos. Do you remember, like, when you first got started, like, did they limit you to like a 10-minute video upload or anything like that?
Say that again.
So, like, when you first started, did they limit you? Like, okay, you can only make a video that's up to 10 minutes long.
I've never seen that.
Okay.
I've never. They hit you with that?
Yeah, like I only have like 3 videos, man, and I didn't do the most recent one until I talked to you again and felt a little bit inspired. But they let me know before I even posted it. But I mean, if we need a channel where we don't care if it gets ejected, we can just put it on mine.
Well, no, it's YouTube. Period.
Excuse me.
I put my video. It's not as easy as just starting another channel. YouTube owns that channel too. So
right.
Yeah, I mean, YouTube, Google owns the platform. So we're just renting space from them is all we're doing, and they have they have the full power to do what they want. So you know what? It's come to the point where somebody mentioned Archaix TV. On Archaix TV, just go submit a ticket, or go to the bottom left column. All the way at the bottom, it says help, and unsubscribe on Archaix TV. I'm getting off Archaix TV. Guys, I'm restarting. I'm going to stay on YouTube and continue my live videos and presentations and all my uploads. But I think after 90 days, everything's going to go to another platform, because I can't have all these copyright notices. It's getting ridiculous, especially after spending so much money buying all the copyright licenses.
I just wanted to show you this real quick. Maybe a couple weeks ago, you were talking. I don't know. It was a couple days ago. Well, I watched it a couple days ago about underground bases and stuff. So this Lifeboat Foundation here, I found this years ago. This is a nonprofit that was connected to Kobe Bryant, Jeffrey Epstein, Jeff Steibel. But this is what they do. This is exactly. It's a nonprofit that builds underground bases in the water, all over the place. I thought that was crazy.
Oh wow! It's called the Lifeboat Foundation.
Right.
Hey, that's crazy. Hey, that clip you just showed, somebody in the comment section said that one of the main characters is named Bennu in that 1982 deal. Yeah, the Bennu bird.
Yeah, you gotta watch it. You gotta watch it as soon as you can, man. It's crazy.
Yeah, they knew 1982. They knew what was up. There's no doubt. I don't know. You guys in the comment section, you guys, I'm kind of open right now because I've got these little drives like this one. This is 4 terabytes. Doesn't look like it, but this little thing here is 4 terabytes, and it's got about 1,400 Archaix videos from Archaix TV and YouTube, and all my podcasts I've ever done with everybody on any other channel. Everything's here. I'm looking for another platform to just dump this whole thing on. So I don't know. I was thinking about Patreon. I don't know. I'm something where I don't have to put commercials. I don't like BitChute because BitChute puts commercials on your stuff. So I don't want commercials.
Do you not want to touch any 1902 stuff today, or do you want to?
Absolutely. You got some 1902 stuff?
Oh yeah.
Oh boy, don't get me started, man. Don't get me started.
Big John always asks, like, well, what do you want to do? I'm like, I don't know. I just want to come talk.
Man, listen. So we can talk about that 1902 stuff because I've got everything that you can imagine.
Yo,
We can
shout
talk
out
about
to he's feeling better.
socio-political, ecological, new inventions, new companies, new scientific bureaus, all the stuff that just suddenly appeared in the world in 1902. I still haven't done a video that itemizes them all. I have 7 videos where the data is all spread out, but I really need to do one video that just lays it all out.
Right? No, I'm with you. I have probably 3 different sets of notes with 1902 stuff on it.
Man, let's get started. Let's
All right.
do it.
There's a couple in here, like American Tobacco Company was 1890, but you kind of always start the 1902 thing at 1890, like whether it's them disappearing.
I did with Gary Warmerdam.
Okay.
Gary Warmerdam and I did 2 videos. One of them, he didn't really contribute much. He was just asking me questions. And the next one, he came to the table armed. He came with all kinds of stuff from 1902. But yeah, he started with I think we started with 1890 because that's when really weird stuff started happening.
Right. I just have a note, a couple of the 1890s, like American Tobacco Company, and then Imperial Tobacco, British. They buy it out in 1901, 1902. Yeah, we can just breeze through some. And, I'm sure you're going to hear something somewhere that is going to trigger something.
Yeah, if it's true to form, Keith, if it's true to form, if all the anomalous stuff in the world that happened from 1890 to 1902, with 1902 being a discharge date where suddenly the world just received a massive amount of technology, engineering, all kinds of weird things just suddenly appeared in the world. But the 12 years leading up to it is a really unusual period. And if that pattern is a part of the 138-year Phoenix deal, then that means the really weird shit is going to start happening in 2028. Right. And it'll be a 144 month countdown to 2040. Just like 1890, the month of May in 1890 is 144 months to the month of May in 1902. The same thing in our calendar, 2028. Say that again.
One more time on the 144.
But it is. It's 144. It's 12 years exactly. It's 144 months from May of 1890 to May of 1902 when all these weird things unleashed in the world. So, but I'm expecting the month of May 2028 to be just a build of just totally, the whole world's going to be, people think 2020 was weird. In 2021 and 22, 23 up to 2025, this is all preparatory. Starting in 2028, the world's going to be going through some fundamental changes like 1890.
That's also when the food shortage comes in too, right? 2028. Come again? Is that the food shortage as well, 2028?
It all depends on how you look at that, because I see just the opposite. I see this you're talking about Apollo Nemesius, the third scale. Yes, that's when 2028 begins the official beginning of the third seal. Absolutely. But I don't see it. That's the Judeo-Christian interpretation. I don't follow that anymore. I follow the Greek interpretation, which is bifurcated, meaning it's going to be a period of time where there isn't any dearth of food. There isn't a scarcity. It's an overabundance to the point that the famine is actually spiritual.
Oh shit.
Yeah, because I'm going to tell you now, it's we are the most spiritual when we're in a crisis. We are the most spiritual when we're either in need or helping others who are in need. But when you provide a utopian society that has everything and there's no longer a pressing need, now it dissolves into hedonism. Now all the things that occupy your time in order to make your friends, family, have everything that they need and everything they want. Once everybody is satisfied, it changes the entire culture. Now you have a Sodom and Gomorrah type society. Now you don't have general sports with high etiquette. You have blood sports being played out like Rome's last 200 years. You have coliseums where people go in there to fight to the death, and people go to spectate. bred in circuses. So anyway, I don't want to go down that. I don't want to go down that deal. We're talking about 1902.
Yeah, the 144 thing is interesting. So, not to get off on another tangent, but just the guy Zach that I told you about that I learned most of the gematria stuff from.
Is that gematria effect or something like that?
Yeah, gematria effect news. So
I still don't know that guy. Gematria effect news. I've heard about him. I just don't know him.
He ties it all back to the Jesuits, and for good reason. There's a lot of evidence that points to it. But this would be a great example for me to show him, like, yo, this 144 thing is because hold on, let me show you. The 144 thing is much older than the 144 is much older than Jesuit order 144, but it's a lot older than that.
Yeah.
So, the Jesuits get in and know all the information or secret knowledge or whatever, but this is clearly older than just the Jesuits. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you another association to 144 that's interesting, and it connects to 1902. Because 1902 is a Phoenix year on the 138-year timeline when all these edits and all these things happen to our world. It is a control system, but it also started a 144-year countdown to when time will collapse in the year 2046, which is the official end of the Mayan long count, which is based off the number 144. It's 13 Bactans. It's 1,872,000 days separated into 13 epochs. Each epoch is 144,000 days. This is starting in 3113 BC and ends in 2046 in the month of November.
I'm hip. So we got all the tobacco companies. There's a. Did you ever hear of this is Rostov general strike in 1902?
Is that a coal strike?
Yes, I believe it is.
Yeah, it's in my notes. I got that one too. Yeah.
So they're doing coal strikes in Russia, the anthracite fields of Pennsylvania. This is all going down at the same time.
Yep.
The Second Boer War is ending. The Bolsheviks, Lenin, Crayola, like crayons, like coloring and stuff. That was 1902.
Yeah, the Boer Wars were at their height in 1902. They ended in 1902.
And then Crayola, like the crayon company.
Yeah, Crayola crayons were invented in 1902.
Right.
Hell yeah.
We got the first Rose Bowl, NCAA football.
Yep. It sounds like you took that right off my notes.
Carnegie Institution for Science.
Oh, I don't have that one. You said the Carnegie. You talking about Andrew Carnegie Institute for Science was founded in 1902?
Boom.
Damn, I didn't have that one on my list. I'm gonna have to add it. I'll tell you what. Can you email me the list after the show so I can add it? Because I got a long 1902 list.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, that's pretty compelling.
Let's see. There's a fire in New Jersey that burned 26 blocks. I don't got much more on it than that, but I just thought curious timing with the coal stuff going on.
Okay, so why is it interesting that New Jersey, so many blocks were burned? That's a huge destruction. It affected a lot of people. Why is that important? Not just because it happened in 1902, but the location itself. New Jersey is technically New York. So New York was founded in 1626. It was bought by the Dutch from the Manhattan Indians. Well, Native Americans. Please don't get all bent out of shape about it. But the Manhattan Native Americans sold the Dutch the plot of land that became New York. It was originally called New Amsterdam. 1626 was a Phoenix year. 138 years later, astronomer Hoffman in the month of May saw the Phoenix cover 1/5 of the sun as the sun darkened, which was watched by about 500,000 Europeans. 138 years later is 1902. It's crazy. It's all crazy, man.
International Harvester Company. I didn't look into that one, but I'm guessing it's got something to do with farming.
Hell yeah. Say, I used to wear that shirt all the time. IH 1902. I still have it in my wardrobe.
Oh, shit.
International Harvesters. It's a Christian farmers organization.
Okay.
Yeah, they were founded in 1902. That's what my shirt says too.
Oh, man. Electric Theater, the first movie theater in LA, 1902.
The Electric Movie Theater in Los Angeles. Absolutely,
Yeah.
it's on my list. It's on my list. Let me know when you want. Let me know when you want me to unleash these 1902 factoids on you.
Oh yeah, no, I figured as I throw them out there, you're just gonna do your thing.
All right.
You want me to finish this page? I got
go ahead and finish that page.
All right, we got Texaco, JCPenney, Steam Power Glider. And I have a note that says no evidence that it survived. I got to look into that one, but Steam Power Glider, it's probably just the technology in 1902. And then Cuba goes independent from us in 1902.
Yep, absolutely.
Kind of interesting timing with that too, huh?
Man, I'm telling you, man, people don't even realize the fundamental changes that happened to our reality in the year 1902. Now, 1902 bleeds into 1903 because we're talking about the Phoenix calendar. The Phoenix year actually begins at the vernal equinox. So we're talking about a 2 month and 21 day overlap between the calendars. What this means is 1902 actually doesn't even start until March 22nd, or March 21st, 1902, which means that January, February, and the first 20 days of March are actually 1901. You follow me?
Yeah.
So now, this is why, like the Bible says, that the great flood happened on the 17th day of the second month, because the book of Genesis is using Phoenix calendar, and under the Phoenix calendar, with it beginning at the vernal equinox, that places the great flood in the middle of the month of May. You get it?
Yeah.
That's how those calendars work. I really need to do a chart so people will understand. I could do 2 circles and merge them together, and then cock one 2.5 months so people will understand the calendrical overlap, how it works. So anyway, 1909, events late in 1901 are pretty interesting because they lead up to 1902. So these aren't just random events, Keith. These are world-changing, paradigm-changing, civilization-changing things that were introduced into the construct in late 1901, in all of 1902, and really heavily also in 1903, because of what was introduced in 1902. Listen, these aren't just BS events. These are things that we all use today. How is it possible that for 1,000 years of history before 1902, none of these things existed, and then all of a sudden, all of these things that we take for granted suddenly appeared in the world? You want to hear the list? You ready for it?
I'm ready.
The assembly line, developed by Ransom Eli Olds, origin of Oldsmobile. This suddenly appears in the world, the assembly line. 10 years later, Henry Ford becomes famous for adapting the moving assembly line. The first assembly line in 1901 had everybody down a long warehouse, and they moved to the next workstation. Henry Ford changed it 10 years later and made the assembly line move, and all the workers stayed in their own stations. This was revolutionary because from a quantum perspective, it magnified our ability to mass produce machine parts in far greater, exponentially more than we'd ever been able to do before. It changed the world. And this is when it appeared. What also changed the world was fluorescent lighting. It too suddenly appeared. The American Peter Cooper Hewitt Company, with the new mercury vapor lamp, changed the world. The ability to now light up whole huge areas. something that changed my world. And I was born in 1973, but this was introduced into the field in 1901. And it still affects me today. It's powdered manufactured coffee. It's the first time they ever had freeze dried coffee. It was a Japanese American chemist who came up with it, named Satoru Kato, in Chicago. Now, also introduced, the company you know of as Gulf Oil was founded in May 1901. Also in 1901, the scientific establishment begins recording the regularity of natural disasters, floods, droughts, quakes, storms, and volcanoes. Get that. In 1901, with 200 years of American history. I mean, some of it was colonial, yes, under the English government, but it was still 200 years being here, or 250 years being here. And then all of a sudden in 1901, you establish a scientific organization that's going to now start documenting all the natural disasters, the floods, droughts, volcanoes, quakes, and storms. Why the sudden interest? So 1902 is where it really takes off. We have a company called Carrier in the United States that suddenly invents the air conditioner in 1902. This isn't an insignificant piece of engineering. The air conditioner revolutionized the workforce first. Then it made our homes more comfortable. But it was originally designed because of the workforce, the Industrial Revolution, all these warehouses and all that. This air conditioner changed the world. We take it for granted now. I got one on my wall right now. We take it for granted. Right here in the middle of this Texas scorching heat. I'm very comfortable.
Ours replaced like 12 grand.
Yeah, oh man, yeah, residential. Yeah, I'm using window units.
Yeah.
So I got real nice window units, but I'm still using window units. Residential, that's super expensive. So, okay, Pepsi Cola is founded in 1902. In June of 1902, opens up the world's very first fast food restaurant.
Yeah.
And it was a Luby-style cafeteria called an automat in Pennsylvania. Whole meals were obtained from coin-operated slots and glass displays. You walked into the store, the food was already behind glass displays, and whichever display you wanted your food from, you just put your coins in that coin-operated machine.
That's very interesting you say that. Have you seen the Elon Musk diners that they're doing now?
The Elon Musk diners, that's crazy. So this is 1902, the very first fast food restaurant. Also, 1902 is founded the United States Steel Corporation of Charles Schwab and J.P. Morgan. And you know this completely revolutionized the steel industry and the military-industrial complex. 1902, J.C. Penney department store chain was founded by James Cash Penney. We still have a J.C. Penney right down the road from me.
Our last one just closed like 2 months ago.
Yeah, they've been closing, but we got one in Conroe, Texas. Pretty close. It might be Willis. It might be a Willis address. So another famous company, Texaco, founded in the month of May, 1902. It's called Texaco today, but its original 1902 name was Texas Fuel Company in Beaumont, Texas. Also, we have this in Willis, Texas too, Goodwill. Goodwill was founded in 1902. In my wallet, I have a AAA card. AAA, the American Automobile Association, founded 1902. I've been shopping in Target for some of my jeans. I like Target. I like jeans from Target. So Target, Walgreens, Nordstrom, Kraft Foods, Western Pacific Railroad, Coca-Cola Bottling Company. Even though Coca-Cola was invented by some dude named Jacob in the 1880s, the Coca-Cola Bottling Company was officially founded in 1902 with AAA, Target, Walgreens, Nordstrom, Kraft Foods, Western Pacific Railroad, the Gibson Guitar Company, Lamar Advertising, one of the premier, largest advertising agencies in the world today, with offices internationally. Lamar Advertising, founded 1902, currently worth $10 billion. You ever heard of the company 3M?
Yeah. Crossing it
Huge.
off.
3M is a huge company, adhesive company.
When
I know you've heard of Turner Broadcasting.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
TNT, right?
Yeah, Turner Broadcasting was initially Turner Companies. Before it was Turner Companies, it was founded in 1902 as Turner Construction Company. 1902, it's a mess, man. It's a mess. I'm not done. The neon lamp. George Claude developed the very first neon lamp in 1902. James McKenzie introduced the very first polygraph machine, the lie detector
That's a
test,
good one.
in 1902. Like you said, Crayola crayons are famous today in all the schools and have been since 1902. Bottle making machinery revolutionized agriculture and the food industry. Stubblefield makes the very first public demonstration of radio in 1902.
I didn't know that one.
Tungsten light bulb filaments were developed in 1902. The vacuum cleaner was developed in 1902. Radio receivers appeared for the first time in 1902. The teddy bear came out in 1902. There are many companies that began in 1902, but they no longer go by their original names.
Right.
Because they were absorbed later by Halliburton, by Turner, by U.S. Steel, by GE, and by DuPont. But all these companies that these mega Fortune 500 companies have absorbed, their founding dates were 1901, 1902, and 1903.
What did you say about? You said something about the teddy bear was 1902.
The teddy bear was 1902.
I got a note here that says Teddy Roosevelt rode in the first car in 1902. Is that even possible?
He wrote, yeah. I mean, Teddy Roosevelt became the president. He's the first official Jewish president in the United States after William McKinley in 1901 was assassinated.
Wow, that shines good. That's kind of crazy.
So check here. Look, I'm not. You gotta understand. I'm only mentioning the things from 1902 that changed our world.
Right.
Like Gillette razors. You can go to any grocery store or pharmacy today and go to the health and wellness sections, and you'll see Gillette razors are still in plastic packs. The little disposable razors. Yeah, Gillette disposable razors were founded in 1902. And specifically the double-bladed disposable razor, 1902. People think these are new. They're not.
That comes out every 10 years.
They've been on the shelves since 1902.
That's crazy.
The little double disposable razor, Gillette razors. It's crazy. Oh, you already mentioned the LA Electric Theater. But listen, one of the largest corporations in the world. Its founder was born in 1902. His name is Ray Kroc. You know who I'm talking about?
Yes, sir.
McDonald's.
Yep.
1902.
Did you notice that there's a Jesuit selling Catholic Bibles or something in that movie?
In what movie?
The Founder. It's called The Founder, about Ray Kroc.
No, I haven't seen that. I haven't seen the movie.
So the shtick is that it's literally like a Jesuit selling Catholic Bibles or something. That's what he did like before.
Okay. I didn't know anything about that.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
Oh, let's see. Vito Perotti. He said Square D circuit breakers, originally Detroit Fuse Company, 1902. Oh yeah, there's a lot. There's many other things I'm not mentioning, but they're ancillary to true development. They're just things that creature comforts and amenities. I'm trying to stick with the core things that literally created the world you and I are living in right now. And they all appeared in 1901, 1902, and 1903. So 1902, the very first successful brain surgery was done in 1902 by Dr. Harvey Cushing. Isn't that mind blowing? We assume that all these things are 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s. They're not. So, now you know that 1890 started some really unusual things. We're talking about really weird things in history from 1890 to 1902. We have like Munch. Have you ever seen Munch's painting of the Scream, showing the red sky, and he's on a bridge and he's screaming? He looks like a light bulb head screaming. Okay, Edward Munch painted that as a example of what was going on through people's minds in the late 1890s. But there's not a whole lot to go on. We have a period of insane asylums, sanitariums, just people. It's a really unusual time. History's been scrubbed quite a bit for this period. It's just there's a huge editing out of things that went on during this period, but we see it in the art, in the architecture, and by all the weird things that just suddenly appeared in the world in 1901, 1902, and 1903, as if for 12 years before this, all the way going back to 1890, we were in some type of holding pattern. Like maybe the elite had gone underground, took most of their wealth with them, and it was just a holding pattern where everything was just running but no development. It's just very strange. So, get this, 1902 is founded. Process this for a minute. It's not 1901, it's not 1903, it's not the 1800s, it's not the 1930s, it's 1902 when the United States Census Bureau is founded. When all of a sudden it's important to know how many people you have.
I was just going to say, we don't have to go down this road because it seems like it's a whole nother thing, but have you looked at any of the population increases or decreases in some of these places? It seems absolutely impossible that you can go from this population to this population in a year, 2 years.
Yeah, I get it. There are definitely, some of them can be attributed to population shifts, but yeah, there's definitely some anomalies. There's no doubt. So let's see. I'm not done. Okay, the city of Washington, D.C. in 1902 was redesigned and planned out to have the Freemasonic patterning that you see now. Because before 1902, it was just a hodgepodge of federal buildings and all that, but they didn't have that big pentagram laid out in the architecture, the Washington Monument situated everywhere. They didn't have all the streets the way they do now. It was literally redesigned and planned out the way you see it today in 1902. 1902 is the new New York Exchange. The New York Stock Exchange building was redesigned by George Post, architect George Post, in 1902. The same year in 1902, when the Flatiron building was finished. 1902, the Cheese Wedge building, which is the first official skyscraper in the world, and it's in New York City. The Phoenix, New York City, you can call it the Phoenix City. You can call it the Phoenix City because it was founded in 1626, and significant events in New York happened in 1764, happened in 1902 with the world's first skyscraper, the New York Public Library. The cornerstone was laid in the month of May in New York City for the most famous library in the world. One of them, or one of the most famous libraries in the world, is the New York's Public City Library.
That's the thought I had earlier. It looks like they were burning down the libraries at the same time that they're building the mental institutions.
Yeah. Yep. And Carnegie, Rockefeller, and Rothschild at this time, between 1890 and like 1910, they were funding the building of all new libraries. But in all these new libraries had like redacted versions of history.
Yeah.
So, the New York Public Library at the time was the largest marble architectural structure in the world. Yeah, cornerstone laid 1902 in the month of May. So guess what? 1902. Guess what else? Get it? Construction was at its height in 1902 for what? What major thing that New York was famous for?
Steel
That
buildings,
most of the construction went down in the year 1902, but it took more than 1 year to finish it all. What'd you say?
aqueduct or steel buildings.
Nope. It's the entire New York underground subway system.
How did I miss that?
That's 1902. The White House was modernized. They totally renovated the White House in 1902. Something strange about 1902 was the debut of The Wizard of Oz. How much subliminal programming is in The Wizard of Oz, man? Also, do you remember? I know you've seen bits and pieces of this. It's on YouTube. You can look it up. But I don't know how to say his name. Milieu, I think. George Milieu. He's a French movie maker. But in 1902, he released the first science fiction movie ever. It's called A Trip to the Moon. And they went to the moon in a rocket just like NASA showed in 1969.
Yeah, I saw that's pretty wild.
So I'm almost done with my list. We're going to go to 1903. 1903 continues the mystery of 1902 because Henry Ford founded the Ford Motor Company, which launched the automobile industry. Because then a whole bunch of other companies appeared after that. Harley Davidson was founded in 1903. Orville and Wilbur Wright succeeded in the first manned airplane flight at Kitty Hawk in North Carolina in 1903. The World Series baseball is won for the very first time in 1903. The winners were the Boston Red Sox. That's the World Series. Harvard Stadium is built. The first stadium specifically built for American football. It is built in 1902.
What's the last one you said? Harvard something?
Harvard Stadium. Harvard's way older than that, but the stadium they have is built to hold 40,000 people. It was built in 1903. The very first game in the stadium, that's how embarrassing that Harvard invested all that money to build a stadium and Dartmouth beat them in the very first game. So the last thing for 1903 is Marie Curie. Marie Curie has gone down in history as the discoverer of radiation. But I'm pretty sure that it was already known. I don't quite understand that one, but
they just pass it off to whoever.
I don't know, man. It's kind of weird. But
in the patent office.
Well, actually, artificial radiation, not natural radiation. I'm talking about Marie Curie. She literally created artificial radiation. But I know radiation from like radon was known. Radium was known in the 1800s.
Right.
So what I'm saying here is that none of these things are impossible. But how unlikely is it here in the year 2025 that everything that we take for granted was already here way before any of us were born, and it all came out into the world in the same 12-month period between 1902 and 1903. How is this possible? Everything we have in our homes that we've taken for granted. It was all just unleashed in the world right here in this 12-month period. It tells me that all this technology pre-existed 1902 and 1903. It was already here. And for some reason, the 12 years prior to that, none of this was allowed to be released until at the exact same time. And I'm thinking that the powers that be know about the Phoenix phenomenon, and they waited it out. And the only things that happened were 4 volcanoes, 2 earthquakes, and a whole bunch of red rain and red mud that just deposited all over the world, and there wasn't much else.
And you think they're just like, oh shit, we're good, let's go.
So shoot, that wasn't the big one. So right. They came back out to the surface, unleashed everything, and That's where we're at now. I believe 2028 is going to begin the next 12-year countdown, just like 1890 began a 12-year countdown, and it's going to be a massive holding pattern. But in this holding pattern, all these things, all these amenities, all these luxuries are already here, bro. They're already here. So they're just going to make it even better for those on the surface to just go ahead, bread and circuses while they bed down in their underground facilities.
Yeah, man. It's all so fucking nuts, man. All of it. It's crazy.
It is and it isn't.
Right.
It is and
right.
it isn't. So let's go with let's talk about X-Men. Let's talk about the X-Men. Or do you have any more to add to the 1901, 1902, 1903 list?
Yeah, I can just burn through it real quick if you hear anything you
Yeah,
like.
hell yeah. Let's do it.
I got the Newlands Reclamation Act. It was water and irrigation for 17 states.
Okay. That deals with infrastructure, yeah.
I don't know why I had this, but Jan Toppin convicted of 12 murders, admits to 31. I don't know why that was in here. The Philippine Organic Act, Philippine-American War, Rolling Mill Mine Disaster. That's another one in Pennsylvania. Over 100 people dead.
Yeah.
Fairbanks Gold Rush. Shiloh Baptist Church Stampede. Over 100 dead in Birmingham. I figured that was like a fake story for something else.
Right.
United Mine Workers Strike, founded in 1890. They were on an 8-month strike. Bunch of fraternities and sororities.
Yeah.
Butch Cassidy captured and escaped in 1903.
Oh yeah.
I got more.
Say Keith, you have a TV on in the background?
Music. You can hear that?
Yeah, because it will YouTube something else, bro. They'll copyright me.
Shit. All right, hold on 1 second. My girl's got a salon on the other side of the house. I didn't think you could hear it.
Oh man, we're not done with 1902 because now I got images to show you. We just went through the list. Now I'm going to show you some pictures. But first, we got to talk about DC Comics, Marvel Comics universe, and what they're telling us by not telling us. Yeah, man, I'm reading the Chronicles of Narnia lately. It's just opened my eyes, man. These guys are telling us the truth.
How about now?
And they did it through fiction. That's good. It may not be nothing to worry about because.
My bad, man. That was going for an hour. You could have said something.
Well, I don't hear it, but I'm seeing people in the chat talking about it, and the people in the chat are right. YouTube can lock onto a song in the background on the radio and then mess with you on the copyrights.
I put up a video last night and they did exactly that. I had music in the background. I wasn't thinking anything about it. And it's kind of like what you said. There was no strikes or anything, but they're like, you can't monetize this.
Can't monetize it,
watch it in Russia. Nobody in Russia can watch it.
Yeah, they look for any type of excuse whatsoever to demonetize a video because they want to spam it with commercials. That's what they have a vested interest in finding things that are wrong.
Hey, I got one real quick before we move on. Did you ever see A Field of Dreams movie?
I don't think so.
Okay, so Field of Dreams is Ray Liotta and Kevin Costner. And it's a story about if you build it, they will come. Did you ever hear that? That term or that expression, if you build it, they will come?
Yes, absolutely.
It's from that movie. And they're talking about a baseball field. Like, if you build the baseball field, they will come, right? So this is a couple years back. Ray Liotta played in one sports movie, and it was this one. He played Shoeless Joe Jackson, okay? So the day Ray Liotta dies, it's in May, actually, in probably 2022, 2023. But the day he dies, I'm going to pull the score up real quick. So he
Ray Liotta's always playing some mafioso guy.
right? So this is the only one where he plays an athlete. The only movie he was in where he plays an athlete. And so he dies May 26, 2022.
Are you trying to show something?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's May 26th.
That's so small to me. I can't see any of that. It's too tiny.
The point is here that the day he dies, the baseball scores for those particular games. So Shoeless Joe Jackson equals 205 in this first one here.
Yeah.
205, and then Joe Jackson 167 in reverse. If you go to the scores of the baseball game, I'll be done with it, but if you go to the scores of the baseball game, the night that Ray Liotta died, the scores of that game were 20-5, like 205.
Yeah.
So the score of that game that night, and these are the only two teams that Shoeless Joe Jackson ever played for.
Yeah.
Happened to be playing that night that Ray Liotta passes, and the two teams that Shoeless Joe Jackson played for, it was 20-5, and the other team, the score was 16-7. Now these are two really odd baseball scores, 20-5 and 16-7.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I thought that was absolutely nuts.
Well, it's when it, like number theory, because I believe we live in a simulacrum. I believe that we live in a mathematical construct. I believe that we can find meaning in anything, and like it's just we're creatures of pattern recognition. We're gonna be able to, if there's a pattern there, we're gonna see it. So none of it really surprises me at all. And to me, it's almost as the norm. These are the things we're supposed to see because this is an experience based on arithmetic. There's no doubt.
That's how I'm trying to start to put it in my brain. You know, like I've had a hard time with a lot of this stuff. Like, you know, everything, all the programming being like set or fixed already.
I don't have a problem with it. I used to have a problem with it when my Christian indoctrination was offended. I wasn't personally offended. It was my education that was offended, and I couldn't process around it. And then I realized what freedom it was to know that, man, I'm connected to source. I'm connected to an oversoul, and that this must be some type of spiritual programming, a playground, and that all this evil, nefarious stuff, it may be going on, but it's once I'm removed from this reality, it's no longer real anymore. It's all inside this conscious experience, and I am something greater than anything that can happen to me within this experience. When I started this freedom that overcame me, it brings about a fearlessness where like nothing matters anymore. It says I'm free to talk about and do what I want to do, talk to who I want to travel, do whatever. I'm free here because none of it. I'm not even in any danger. Even if it was time for me to exit this construct and to die by any way that I die, it's not even important. It's not. It's just I'm just going somewhere else. I'm going somewhere I'm actually supposed to be. I'm really not supposed to be here. I feel like I'm playing a video game. But
that, as far as like I had a similar feeling to that when I know there. As far as the Earth being like round or flat, like once I realized that it's neither, you know, that's something that most people say, like, oh, it doesn't matter if it's round or flat. To me, it mattered in the sense that, like, oh shit, like it's not round or flat. Like it mattered, like in my mental, for me to work everything else out.
Yeah, see, anyone who's really stuck, because I mean, anybody who's just really stuck on the particulars. Like they're still arguing flat Earth. You're still arguing globe Earth. Listen, right. They're not even in the equation anymore because those of us that are in the know have already evolved and moved way away because they're still arguing two different paradigms that are based on something that's unreal, and that's that this is a physical experience, and it's not.
And they've managed to do that with like everything.
I know it's polarizing. I get it. I have a lot of patience with them because I understand the flat Earth arguments, but
Right.
but I mean I don't believe in the globe either at all.
Right.
But I'm not all. But equally so, I'm not deceived. I know whoever designed the stellosphere, whoever designed this arc of the stars, because they don't just move straight across the sky. They move at an arc, and they move at certain latitudes, and it changes by season. Every bit of this is designed to make us believe that we're on a globe going around the sun. The heliocentric model fooled. You have to understand, when the Sumerians fully developed their sciences, their conclusion was that we were on a globe, which is the ultimate deceit. The later Greeks, first of all, the later Aryans in the Sanskrit literature, they thought the world hung upon nothing. Once they had developed scientifically to a certain point, their own science was used to deceive them.
I was going to say, go back. You said the Sumerians too?
The Sumerians did too. So the Sumerians, the Aryans, and the Greeks. The Greeks, the final conclusion of the Ionian Greeks is that we were on a world going around the sun. This was the final conclusion.
You're saying that this is what they actually believed, right?
Yeah, well, no, you have to understand. I'm pretty sure a lot of the Greek population still believe we lived on a flat plane under the four corners of the world. I'm talking about the Greek naturalists, the Ionian scholars, the ones that left us their records. Thales of Miletus, he believed 100% in the heliocentric model. He believed in planets and stars being solids. Yeah, that rocks fell from the sky. There were pieces of the sun. It's very interesting how the more scientific a people become, the more they fall for the illusion of the sky.
I was going to say Thales is the one that called out what was coming, right, ahead of time.
Yep. Yeah, but he did that because he was also a chronologist, and he had accurate historical records of when it happened. Thales never predicted an eclipse. The moon was not a part of the system that he based his prediction on. Yeah, his prediction was mathematical. So Thales of Miletus, and just like Herodotus notices that there were 4 eclipses that were well known in ancient times, and the one that Thales predicted did not involve the moon.
Right.
So,
yeah, but he still thought that
He nailed it because he knew, just like Aristarchus knew that there was a number 2484, which is divisible by 138. Just like Nostradamus knew the number 1242. He said it was 1242 years before the flood. That's number divisible by 138. Just like the book of Genesis, when you add up all the years in the book of Genesis of the 10 patriarchs and their life and death rates when their firstborn sons were added, every biblical chronologist can tell you, and Jewish chronologist can tell you, there was 1,656 years in the pre-flood world, which is divisible by 138. So, yeah, his was pure arithmetic. His wasn't based off astronomical records involving the moon when he made his prediction.
So he knew the math on it. He just that's crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy.
I just found a note. I think I wrote this down because it was Texas, but this was about a population thing. So January 10th, 1901. So the population is 9,000 people, and in less than 60 days, the population is over 30K.
Yeah,
9,000 to over 30,000.
I have it in my notes for many of the Phoenix phenomenon dates that we have 2 things happening. Sometimes when a Phoenix year comes every 138 years, whole civilizations, sometimes empires, sometimes just localities, populations of people just vanish. Like in 1212 AD, the Children's Crusade, all those kids come up missing. Then we have other times, also 936 AD, all the Mayan cities are suddenly empty. So, it's always been a mystery what happened to the Mayan people. They just vanished.
Right.
But then we also have, like you stated, it's just so bizarre how all of a sudden whole populations are intact in situ, and it's almost as if they just suddenly appeared, and all their memories are implanted, and there may be a period of of a few days of just disorganization, and the humans that are still here from the prior 138-year sim that haven't adjusted to all the sudden changes. For some reason, they're still aware of the world as it was pre-edited a few months earlier. They're thrown into sanitariums. They're thrown in. They're considered crazy by everybody,
Right.
and they're thrown into all these madhouses and all that.
I can't help but to think that they're going to start building crazy houses again. Like, because people are going to lose their mind. Like,
okay, well, look, check it out, Keith. There's a theme. There's a theme attached to the DC Comics superheroes and the Marvel Comics superheroes that it's inescapable. I kind of went into a deep dive myself on this,
nice.
And it really shocked me that without actually saying the year 1902, without just giving it away, it seems that all this stuff in the history of what's that dude in the wheelchair? The Xavier, yeah, Xavier X. So all this background story, because the heroes are born in the 70s. They're superheroes in the 90s and the thousands, and in our time now. But their fathers, their moms and dads, or their grandparents, the backstories attached to them are really unusual things, and it's all the same time period. The turn of the century from about 1898 to 1904. The themes and all these even Bruce Wayne's family, really unusual things all happened in the backstories for all these superheroes, and it's at this exact same time in history. We're talking about Wolverine and Sabretooth and Wonder Woman, Captain America. The backstories for all of them involve this little small episode of the turn of the century when all kinds of weird things happen. And these comics mention the development of artificial intelligence as early as the turn of the century. This is allegedly before the computer was even created. Isn't that bizarre?
Yeah. I mean, I thought, like, I literally had to write them down like this because I thought I was losing my mind. I had to write it out because of how the timing, like you said, was working out. I'm like, this can't be right. This can't be what it is. Like,
so the background stories to Wolverine, Sabretooth, Xavier, the X-Men, Wonder Woman, Captain America is that right there at the turn of the century, there was a Weapons Plus program. And there was early experiments in human enhancement and super soldier research was all being conducted right there at the turn of the century. And that these are all the founding elements of what later became the Justice Society of America. These are like precursor events. It just blew my mind that they're telling us in these comic books and all that everything changed right here. And everything later, these mutants, these superheroes, these government labs, super soldiers, artificial intelligence, all these later developments through the 20th century all happened because of strange events right here. Even the Bruce Wayne stories, the Batman, all happened for something unusual right here at the turn of the century.
I was literally just pulling up those tabs for Batman. I checked that out too.
Yeah, man, it's so crazy, man.
Can you see that still on that tab that I?
Yeah. Oh, you know what I forgot to mention about 1902? Oh, you can go to Wiki. Oh no, I'm going to show it. I still have files to show. I'm sorry. I'm going to show some visuals here in a little while. A new calendar, a new international calendar, suddenly appeared in the world in 1902. I'm going to show it to you. Yeah, I got some visuals. I'm going to show at the end of the show.
I can't believe how much stuff I miss.
Yeah, man. So it's it's crazy, man. It's like something unusual, even in the Bruce Wayne narratives, in his before he was born, in his family, unusual activity happened at the turn of the century in Gotham. And it's the reason why all these super criminals came out that Batman later in life has to deal with. It's man, what's beautiful about it is they never get specific.
Right.
They just never get specific about it. But it's just crazy. It's oh, you're familiar with Phineas Horton, the Human Torch?
I don't remember
Okay.
Phineas Horton, but I know who the
Okay.
human. That's
Well, no. Well, the Human Torch prototype. It was called Prototype Alpha, and his name was Phineas Horton. His name was Phineas Horton. Uh, um, this guy here, the prototype was right there at 1901, 1902, and 1903 in the comic book versions. Later, when he's fully developed, he's the Human Torch. But also at the turn of the century is the whole background story to Jonah Hex. You familiar with him?
I am, but I didn't know about the 1902. I didn't know about him.
Yeah, man. It's these are the foundational stuff. So he's like a bounty hunter from the old west, Jonah Hex.
Right.
So he's still active. And only dies in whatever those events, those unusual events that happened at the turn of the century. That's when Jonah Hex exits stage. That's when he's gone. So crazy, man. And the comic books are very specific. He didn't die in the 1800s. It was the very, very early 1900s. That leaves 1901 and 1902.
Yeah.
Jonah Hex. So could be 1903 or 1904. Something like that.
I have the Batman 137 and 138 issues if you want to check those out too.
Oh yeah. So the Human Torch wasn't actually designed to 1939 in the narrative, in the stories. But the Human Torch prototype, Phineas, that I was telling you about in the comic books, yeah, to develop that mutant technology, it was designed right there at the turn of the century. It is so weird, man. It is just so weird. Also, you're familiar with the narrative in the comic books called Elseworlds, the Justice League of Victorian Earth? Yeah, these are in the comic books. These are in the comic books too. And the Justice League of Victorian Earth was active right there at the turn of the century as well. It's called Elseworlds. That's simulation theory. The word else means other worlds. You know what I mean? Yeah. Elseworld. It's in the comic book narratives, but it's called Elseworlds. Elseworlds is nothing but an admission that this is just one sim out of many. It's almost as if the comic books are they're not telling us directly, just like Jesus with his parables, not telling us directly. He's telling us in similitudes, parable, metaphor. It's like the comic books, the origin of the superheroes and supervillains all stem from an event at the turn of the century, but they're not going to tell us exactly which year. They just say it could have been the end of the 1800s, but it was probably the early 1900s. They never get specific, but it's an event where whatever happened later created the supervillains, the superheroes, also exited a prior generation of heroes like Jonah Hex. They're gone, but introduced new sciences into our world that came from another world through the Elseworlds portals. It is really bizarre when you go into the back histories of each superhero and you find out everything stems from an event at the turn of the century.
Right. I had never heard of Elseworlds before, but I just looked it up and it looks like the logo for the Elseworld thing. It kind of reminds me of like the Spear of Constantine, like the huge arrow that's in the sky.
What are you looking at? Batman volume?
Oh,
hey,
yeah.
Is that 138? Volume 1, 138?
Yeah.
That's a phoenix, dude.
I know, man.
That's a red and yellow dragon. You're blowing my mind.
It's wild shit, dude.
You just pulled that up?
Yeah, well, that's what I had it sitting there for you for whenever you were ready if you wanted to check it out.
Man, you sucked for finding that before me.
That's what I was just saying. Like, you're rattling off all this stuff. I'm like, how did I miss that?
Batman volume 138. I mean, issue number 138. Wow. You just can't make this shit up, man. I mean, in the X-Men in 2006, the movie The Last Stand, Jean Grey, you know, it's about her history as the Phoenix.
Right.
Huge mutant psychic energy. It's just weird. Her whole character is based off the Phoenix. Just so crazy.
Yeah.
So you got any more rabbits to pull out your hat like that?
Yeah, probably. Oh, I wanted you to check this out. Let's see which.
Man, it's crazy, man.
Can you see that?
Yeah, I can. I don't know what I'm looking at. A stage? A bunch of
It's
people?
some concert somewhere, and I just thought that it was really interesting. It looked like some displaying some kind of ancient something.
Yeah, it looks like 5 thrones, phoenix palm plumes. Other than that, I really can't tell.
Yeah.
Can't tell.
Let's see. Here's. See that?
Batman, yeah, issue 137. That's a fine structure constant. What's the issue about? What's the story about?
I don't know. I literally just pulled it up after the Batman 138.
I would really love to know if this is anything about a unusual physics discovery or a code in the universe. If the storyline has anything to do with that.
Batman and Robin are plagued by super scientific pranks of 3 students from the planet Sega, led on an educational trip by their teacher. The alien kids prove difficult for even their instructor to restrain and raise havoc in Gotham with anti-gravity rays, transporter rays, freeze rays, image projectors, light ray distorters, and magnetic repulsors. But when alien children repulse the guns from the hands of the 2 policemen chasing bank robbers, Batman and Robin defeat the crooks, etc., etc. But yeah, that sounds like some technology stuff to me.
Interesting. It is interesting. Wow. You ever seen a movie called The Prestige from 2006?
Is that Hugh Jackman? Or Ed Norton?
I don't know, but the director was Christopher Nolan, and it's about the turn of the century, and it's all about secret science. Nikola Tesla's how his science had occult overtones. It's about two like wizards, modern day magicians or something that destroy each other.
I was just gonna say it's about like they frame it as magic, yeah.
Yeah, it's about the cloning of humans in a Tesla machine, but the movie came out recently, like 2006, but it's all about right there at the turn of the century, where the true origin of technology. And it's not the only movie like that, bro. There's a whole bunch of movies out there that literally tell us that the origin of all these things that we thought that we only developed recently, like cloning, the genetics, nuclear, atomic stuff, magnetic rail guns, cloning of animals, free energy, like all these things I mentioned that in our lives, like Gillette razors and air conditioning and light bulbs and all these things that we have in our homes today. There's a bunch of movies that all indicate that right there at the turn of the century is the true origin of all these technologies. The Extraordinary Voyage is a movie that came out that hints that the turn of the century was the origin of all these lunar technologies, actually going back and forth, to the moon. Another movie in 2006 called The Illusionist.
I don't think I saw that one.
Yeah, it's all turn of the century. These are like dark turn of the century, late 1800s, early 1900s movies that hint that we lived in a steampunk type society, and that what we've been told about that period isn't really true, and that we actually did have these technologies available. And there's a bunch of them. There's a TV series called The Alienist Angel of Darkness. It's a season 2. It's a TNT series, but it's from 2020.
Okay.
The Alienist is a series, but one of the shows is called Angel of Darkness. Same thing. The setting is in 1902, specifically in this show. So, and it's all about early forensics and psychology and hidden government organizations and all kinds of crap, man. It's like they've been telling us all along. We just weren't listening. We weren't.
You said a couple videos back, like a risque reveal, kind of more than a predictive programming.
Yes, absolutely.
I think that might be a better, a more accurate depiction of what it is. I found a. Can I still pull up the screen down here if I hit present? Like,
yeah.
As
soon as I see it, I'll share it.
Okay.
Oh, another movie that's from the turn of the century, and they mention it many times, but you never really know what date it is. But it could be 1899, 1900, 1902, 1903. You don't know. You remember? I know you remember the movie The Mummy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but see, the mummy was set in the 1920s, but they keep doing flashbacks to when archaeologists found some certain items, and it's always right there around 1900, 1902, 1903. It was all kinds of weird, like a mixture of magic and technology.
Yeah, no, I definitely didn't see that one. I threw the link down there, and this is just like random. This is again, it always seems to go back to France or the Jesuits or something, but this is a DJ or a musician, and his Spotify playlist is called "Who's Afraid of 138."
I have seen that. That's been somebody brought that to my attention before. I have seen that.
All
yeah,
right.
there's also the Misfits. They sang a song called "We Are 138." There's also a rock band called The Phoenix, and their number one song is 1901.
1901. Yeah, I got that. Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. Hold on,
So crazy.
There's a couple of things I can get rid of. You already know about it. Completely unrelated.
I want to mention one. I want to mention Sherlock Holmes. That was a badass movie in 2009. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Most of the story is happening in 1890s. You understand?
I never even looked for that.
But it goes back and forth from the past to the future, but the future is only early 1900s. The past is in the 1890s. But Sherlock Holmes is showing the world is a world of kind of like a mixture of magic and technology, a steampunk society where engineering was more advanced than we've been led to believe.
What else do I have? Oh, this guy. Okay. I need you to check this guy out. And I can email you this too. But that guy there, I dig him because he's still alive.
Who is he? Eric Pollard?
Eric Dollard. So
Eric Dollard, he and I have emailed each other back and forth, and
no shit.
Yeah, and he's been in my comment section multiple times.
You got to get with this guy, man.
Oh yeah,
I'll link it up if you want, man. But I
don't forget his name, bro.
So he's the one who first put me onto light years are bullshit. There's no light years or anything like that. So he was one of the guys that worked for RCA, late 70s, early 80s. There was some kind of event happening from like 79 to 81. And he's working for RCA doing radio, would it be radio astronomy? I'm not even sure. But he's doing the work at like Sonoma State University or something. And
okay,
he said that they knew whatever this was, they knew that it was going to happen or whatever. But he said that for 12 months, something happened with the ion, because you know how all this stuff travels through the ionosphere, like for the radios and all that.
Yeah.
That it shut down for like a year, and they weren't able to use it because of this. But he was the one that was watching the event from 79 to 81. But the government has come and like there's videos of like $1 million facility just like they've destroyed this guy, man.
Wow. Listen, somebody else could be calling themselves Eric Dollard, but there's been an Eric Dollard in my comment section right here, and also commenting under my videos, and I've exchanged emails with. I guess it'd be the same guy. I don't know, but it seems like other people knew who he was.
I was gonna say I don't even know if he spends time in like that would be weird.
I don't know if it's the same guy or not.
It could totally be him. But he's doing experiments and he's on the ground on in the field, doing actual like research. But there's very few people that are like alive and can show you like this is why that this isn't accurate or this isn't accurate. This is why light years are bullshit. But to see his facility, like it had to be at least a couple $1 million facility, like that he was out in the middle of the desert and they ripped it all out.
Yeah, we know. I mean, there's a long list of discoverers and innovators who they're just not going to they're not going to let them change the world, man. Or they're just not going to. Yeah, people have a great idea, and we have inventors that come up with all kinds of deals. You would not believe how many patents Fortune 500 companies have literally bought just to suppress. Yeah, they buy up the patents for millions of dollars just so that technology will never be released to the public.
That's why the Navy Department even had a patent office, right? So they could keep everything.
That's how Einstein was groomed. Einstein was groomed to be a charlatan. Yeah, that man, he was groomed to be what they paint him to be. Yeah, Einstein. I don't find any particular brilliance with Einstein. I don't care about abstract arithmetic trying to tell me something that I can see with my senses isn't intelligence to me. There's nothing intelligent about that. True intelligence is measured by taking very complex concepts and reducing them to qualifiers that allow the normal person to hear what you're talking about, understand, and see what you're presenting in their mind as you're presenting it. True intelligence is measured by the way to communicate so people can see the very things that you're trying to communicate. If you're overwhelming people with information that is so abstract that only you know it, you're not intelligent, you're an idiot. That's it.
I don't want to play it because they already yelled at me for having music on in the background. But that one that you're looking at, 138 warm up, that's the one that I put out last night. But you should check
let's not play any music.
Don't play it now, but check it out whenever you get a chance. It's got all the Baudelaire and Misfits, Danzig, and all that stuff.
Yeah, I get it. I do get it. So I got one more to mention.
Yeah.
For those who want to understand this type of setting, listen. Hollywood's been telling us about 1902. We just haven't been paying attention. It's been telling us through this comic books and through all these backstories. But there was a series in 2014 and 2016 called. It was on television. It wasn't ever movies, but it's called Penny Dreadfuls.
I never watched it, but I know what you're talking about.
Penny Dreadful actually goes back to the literary world before that, to the times of 1901, 1902, when Penny Dreadfuls were really popular. People bought these for 1 penny. You get this little brochure that has a story in it, and they were real popular. Well, in 2014 and 2016, there was a series called Penny Dreadfuls. In the settings is the late 1890s and the very early 1900s in London. And it's all in every Penny Dreadful episode is about this little window of little time right here, the Phoenix phenomenon time. And it's all about really unusual occult experiences, monsters that are that appear in our reality, secret societies, and the main core denominator between all the Penny Dreadfuls is that there is some type of threat in the sky. some type of dark cosmic force that's overseeing us.
So
It's the Phoenix phenomenon.
This was
But
on
these
like
are
Showtime or something, right?
these are called penny dreadfuls. They were popular it's a TV show in 2014 to 2016.
I had no idea that's what it was about. I mean, I never watched it, so I wouldn't, but I didn't get that impression from any of the previews or anything. That's wild.
Yeah, man.
Have you seen this yet?
What is that? Oh, that's the Bible, 1 Peter 5:8.
Yeah, this was like the when the new pope comes in or whatever. It's the I thought that this looked like the prophecy to me, or if you want to call it prophecy.
Mm-hmm.
Watchful, spreading, permission. The roaring lion. Do you remember? You were talking about this a while back. Like the prophecy about a lion, or
Yeah, the text is so small I can't see it.
The Lord said to Satan, "From where do you come?" Then Satan answered the Lord, "From roaming about on the earth and walking around it." The Lord said to Satan, "Have you considered my servant Job?"
Okay, well, you got 1 Peter 5:8 on the screen, but you're reading from the book of Job.
You're right. Shit. I don't know. There was some kind of prophecy about when the new pope came in, and then there was a lion involved in it somehow. But I heard you talking about it before, and I've had that tab open forever. But
Yeah,
now I don't know what the hell I was saving it for.
man, I know some other people that do that, and have 50 tabs open on their computer. Man, listen, I'm neurotic about my laptop. I use one tab at a time. I close, but every day I close all my tabs, turn my whole laptop completely off. I unplug it. I'm just weird about that. I even have shutters on my cameras. I turn the shutters off. I
definitely throw that thing in the drawer when I'm not using it.
Yo, I've got sheaths, the Faraday cage.
Yeah, I saw
sheaths.
Yeah,
these are like leather these are like leather on the outside, but they're Faraday cage on the inside. Yeah, I'm not gonna sleep around a device. I'm gonna give me some good, deep Southern sleeping. I am. My cell phone goes into a sleeve. All my drives, all these drives, I don't keep these out. They go into a box.
Right.
They go into a Faraday box. This is a Faraday cage. Yeah. Can't see it in X-ray. You can't pulse it with a bunch of microwaves and try to destroy the data. And inside the Faraday cage, they're in Faraday bags. These are drives. I'm real big on protecting everything I got, man.
Yeah.
And then I got two more boxes at other locations in case anything ever happens to my property. I can go somewhere else and have 100% of all my data. Right. My whole life is mobile. I can fit it in a backpack. Everything I've ever accomplished in my life, every book, all my hundreds of articles, all my research, almost 1,000 charts, about 10,000 pages of research notes. No matter what, I got copies of copies of copies spread out all over the place. I'm not a trusting guy. And I know that low flying aircraft have the ability to do all kinds of things to your electronics. I'm just not trying to hear it.
I was a foster kid for most of my childhood, so I could always pack my life up in 20 minutes.
Yeah.
I got another tab. This was a while ago. You were talking about Whitney Webb, and
what was I saying about Whitney? I've never said anything bad about her.
No, you didn't. But maybe look a little bit deeper about who her dad is and shit.
I'm not trying to offer an opinion. I'm just saying that if I've ever mentioned Whitney Webb, I've never said anything bad about her because
it wasn't in a negative light at all.
I've ever researched.
Yeah, no, it wasn't in a negative light at all. I don't know. I thought she did some good research, but then I looked at all this other crazy stuff about who her father is because he's down here in Florida. So I checked it out. Anyway.
Yeah. Jesse Murphy, you're absolutely correct. These aren't Faraday glasses, but I have 8 pairs of these. The reason you see so much blue is because it reflects it back at the camera. And none of that blue light comes into my eyes. It's not just for that, but I don't want to get all conspiratorial on you guys. I mean,
it's not a conspiracy, man. I told you about Dr. Jack Cruz. He gets into all that.
Okay, I don't know what you're referring to, but not just the blue light. I'm talking about the technology exists where subliminal through your screens, something can be subliminally implanted into your psyche. And then with a burst of light that contains coding, what was subliminally implanted into you optically before can now be activated later. I wear these to prevent that from happening. There's nothing coming out of my camera that's gonna send coding into my optic nerves.
Yeah, you want to hear something really weird? I haven't sleepwalked since I was a kid, and a couple weeks ago, I woke up at 5 o'clock in the morning on someone's lanai. Like I sleepwalk to somewhere that I've never been to.
Yeah. Don't say anything else, bro. Do not say anything else. I don't even want to know any more of the story.
All right.
Do not incriminate yourself.
Oh, no.
2236. I got a 1010 on a walker over here. Yeah.
I said to the guy, I was like, man, if somebody like me showed up on my porch at 5 o'clock in the morning, like sleepwalking, I would have shot him. I'm lucky.
Yeah. I had a walker show up on my property at 2 o'clock in the morning one time.
I heard the story.
Yeah, I told the story on YouTube. Then he came back at 7 a.m. in the morning.
That's wild, man.
Yep. It was somebody directing him to do that, pretending to be me. And they,
wow. Yeah. That's crazy.
Well, yeah, because if I'd have done something to him, if I'd have done something to him, then yeah, I would have been in trouble with law enforcement, and it caused me some problems, and plus it would have hurt him. It would. He's just somebody who wanted to come talk to me, but he thought he was in communication with me.
Yeah.
So he wasn't the target. I was.
That's bad shit, man. Like what you would have to do that.
Yeah, but it's hard. It's hard. I'm pretty safe on my own property. You would not believe the surveillance I got here. Anybody who's visited my program cannot miss all the camera banks. They're everywhere, all over my property. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
I'm pretty protected here. Ain't nobody just come on my property and it not be known by law enforcement. Plus, Montgomery County, I know all the sheriff's deputies. I know everybody here. It's crazy.
That's good. Have you ever heard of Earth 616?
Earth 616. No, but I do know that 616 is the original text in Greek in the Book of Revelation for the number of the beast.
Well, that's why I thought that Earth 616 was kind of interesting. Like the fact that you would even name it that, and then once it gets into it, that's a whole nother probably show by itself.
Wow. Oh man! Hey, this has been a great show, man. But I've already covered my bases. I've already covered everything I wanted to cover as far as all the lists of 1902 stuff. But I have a file of visuals if you want to see everything related to 1902 that I didn't mention.
Okay.
You want to see them?
I'll be here all night if you let me, man.
Oh man, this won't take but 20 minutes. You guys in the chat want to see it? Because I got visuals of 1902.
Hell yeah.
It's already been 2 hours, so I'm going to ask.
Grab some water. I'll be right back.
All righty. I'm going to ask the group here if you guys want to see this material. Oh, we got 2 yeses. No, I have not. Karma Doc, I have not hit the medical realm of 1902, except for, how you doing, by the way, Karma? I haven't seen you in a while. But I did mention, Karma, I don't know if you've been in the chat the whole time, but I did mention that 1902 was the very first successful brain surgery.
That's crazy. I still don't believe that.
Yeah, man, it is crazy. Okay, we got a bunch of yeses. Let's do it. No more yeses. We're all good. let's go ahead and share that. Let me get up here, share my screen. All right. This will be really interesting. Now we've seen some of these. Some of these are new. Some of these are not. All right. Has your screen changed? You see that?
Yeah.
Awesome. So, first thing to draw to your attention, these aren't in any order, but this is Charles Fort's Book of the Damned, and in this book it's very interesting. I'm going to show you the quote, but he literally said that 1902 was the other dark age. He said that red rain and red mud, 50 tons per square mile, rained on 3 different continents. It fell on the tops of ships, almost capsized ships in the ocean. This is a tremendous amount of red dust and red rain. And in some places it was red mud. This is 1902. This building was the first official skyscraper. It's the Flatiron Building by the Fuller Construction Company, 1902. Here is a book, The Day the World Ended, May 1902. 4 volcanoes in that year killed a lot of people. Here's the Flatiron Building right here in a painting in 1905. This is 3 years after it was erected. Now, I don't know if you know this, Keith, but there was some people on YouTube that were trying to argue with me, talking about, Jason, you're not right. The Flatiron Building wasn't built in 1902. You're wrong. It's been there for a long time. It wasn't built. It was founded. And they were they're in the Tartaria movement. So I went and I did a video on the 1800s, and I showed that empty cheese wedge. I have actual photos of the building that was there in 1899.
I think you've shown it before, haven't you?
I did on YouTube, yeah. proving that was built in 1901 and 1902, just like the historical record says. Because I have photographs of the fair and market that was at this location, and there's dates on the photo, and it was 1899.
I remember you showing those, yeah.
Stonehenge. The only reason this is here for 1902 is because this is when Sir Norman Lockyer's research became famous from his research published in 1901 on Stonehenge. Let's see, 1902, hundreds of billions of tons of red mud, dust, reddish rains blanketed the world, covered islands and ships. A new star appeared, some believing it a planet, bringing forth a new comet, attended by earthquakes and volcanism. In May, cities around the world reported a blackening of the sky. The mud flood researchers will find many of their documented modern resets were in 1902. A vast amount of effort and resources has gone into erasing this event from the historical record. 1919, Charles Fort concluded after exhaustive research that in 1902 to 1903, we passed through the remains of a powdered world left over from an ancient interplanetary dispute, brooding in space like red resentment ever since. The other dark age of the year 1902. In 1902, the Masonic United States changed the phoenix on the Great Seal to an eagle after 120 years since 1782. The Great Seal pyramid identifies the 13th degree of masonry, the Royal Arch of Enoch, builder of the Great Pyramid. Remember, I know you know this, I have a whole bunch of videos that show that all throughout the Great Pyramid, all the rectilinear measurements are divided by 138. So 1902, Phoenix Transit began the Masonic elite's final 138 years. They know and have been long preparing for for 2040. New York was originally founded in 1626, a Phoenix year. New York will be destroyed in its 414th year, which is a cursed earth period. It's 138 times 3. This is the year 2040. That's when New York will end. So will London. London and New York will end on the exact same days. These are old Phoenix videos. These are all old videos of mine on Phoenix, 1902. Here's the Great Seal. Look, the original Great Seal was not an eagle. Here it is right here. 1782, the original Great Seal was a phoenix.
Yeah, I like that one.
The phoenix was changed in 1902 to an eagle. There it is.
Nothing to see there.
That's an eagle. They changed it to an eagle in 1902. Why did they choose 1902? This is the secret of Nostradamus concerning the last days. According to Nostradamus, the last days of the sun begin in 1901. That means 1901 begins a countdown.
So, remember a while back, I asked, I was talking about like the NFL and sports being fixed and all that. And there's three black quarterbacks to have ever won a Super Bowl. Russell Wilson, Patrick Mahomes, and Doug Williams. So three black dudes, yeah.
I didn't know that.
Three black dudes won a Super Bowl. And I told you that they all played for Native American Indian tribe teams.
Really?
So the only time a black dude has ever won at quarterback is on an Indian team.
I didn't know that.
So like I was saying, like, do you think, like in my head, someone's making the decision to only allow black quarterbacks to win on those teams? Right. So like when you say, why do they choose 1902? Do you think that that's just part of the fixed programming, or do you think someone actually chose 1902 that year to change the seal? Like that's somebody's making those conscious decisions, right?
I do. I believe that. Yeah. Or it's a part of the AI governed construct that we're in. This is the Antikythera computer right here. 1902 is when it was discovered. It was pulled up from the ocean in 1900. In 1901, somebody cleaned it off and put it up. In 1902, a scientist actually started studying it and realized it was a computer. You seen that before?
Oh yeah.
Here's some other pictures of it. Hold on. I'm not. Oh, there's an early Benjamin Franklin concept piece for the Great Seal. It's a phoenix.
I've never seen that one. That's cool. Damn.
Here's a book published in 1650 on the prophecies of Nostradamus. There's the Antikythera computer. Look how technical it is. It's not just gears, it's differential gears. You do understand that it would have required a machine to have built this. It's crazy. This is 2,000-year-old artifact. That's the Great Seal. Oh, there's old George. Here's just pictures of the Phoenix on different stuff from the 1800s. The Phoenix was everywhere. It wasn't the eagle, bro. It was the Phoenix everywhere. Look, an original United States coin from the 1800s. What do you see?
Not an eagle.
That is not an eagle. The wings and the neck give it away.
Damn. Yo, if we
look at the date.
That's bad.
That's a Phoenix. This is the actual royal crest of Michael del Nostradamus. It's got two solar symbols and two Phoenix heads. Some of these charts don't belong in here. Okay, this is Nostradamus, the lost manuscript, page 27. Many will die before the Phoenix dies, until 670 its dwelling shall endure. Now, this is a very enigmatic statement, and I have a whole file to the side where I'm about to do a video on this statement, because I just came into contact from a book from 1740 that I'm doing a video on in 2 days from now. Well, a couple days after that, I'm going to do another video on this statement, because a book published in 1740 that's 1,147 pages long just let me know exactly what this meant.
And you just found that one recently, right? Like in the past 6 months or so?
I don't even want to give it away. It's so profound. I don't even want to give it away. So
I'm hip. That's crazy.
Let's see. Shadow bands. This book, The Story of Eclipses, is a book published in 1902, and it's about the weird shadow bands that appear on the ground during eclipses. This is evidence of simulation theory. This book was published in 1902. See at the bottom?
That's wild.
The Anglo-Boer War of South Africa, 1902, when it ended. First skyscraper, 1902, New York. There it is again. There it is being constructed. I still got these dudes trying to argue with me. Protocols of the Learned Elders of Zion, 1903. Here's the New Lands Reclamation Act that you were talking about, 1902. Why would you need to reclaim lands? What happened in 1901 or early 1902 that you had to pass legislation to reclaim that land?
20 states or whatever it was, yeah.
The American Commercial Invasion of Europe, 1902. Biologics Control Act. The Biologics Control Act of 1902, also known as the Virus Toxin Law, 1902. The Winding Up of Companies and Reconstruction, 1902. What the hell happened that 1902 is considered a Reconstruction year? The Dick Act of 1902. Gun control is forbidden. No state is allowed to pass any gun control laws. 1902.
That's crazy.
Famous story, still sold today, #1 bestseller, Children of the Frost, 1902, Jack London. The Rand Daily Mail, founded in 1902, specifically to create racial tension and apartheid and wire up apartheid in South Africa between whites and blacks. Rand Daily Mail later became a major front. It's basically a Jewish-controlled periodical that was designed to stir up anti-white sentiment around the world.
Is that related to Rand Corporation, like the think tank? Like, is this all the same?
It's all the same, bro. It's all the same, bro. The Tale of Peter Rabbit, 1902. Talk about a rabbit hole. Look at this. The Theory of Optics, 1902. Now, here's something really crazy. Listen, the New York Stock Exchange, founded in the year the Civil War was finished, 1865. And since 1865, it had an unbroken history, the New York Stock Exchange, except for 2 years, the New York Stock Exchange had an interruption of history. What 2 years are those?
The same 2 years that the coal strikes and gold rushes, and that's crazy.
You remember the video I did on the LA Herald Times, and that it's a hardback book that I have in my library, and I showed the front page starting from the 1890s, the front page coming all the way up to the 1960s. It shows the front page articles of every one, and in the entire book, only the year 1902 is missing.
After like 30, 40 minutes, I'm like, he's going to hold our hand through this whole fucking thing, and there's not going to be anything at 1902.
Yep.
That was wild, man.
Yeah, man. This is the interior of the New York Stock Exchange in 1901. The reason I'm showing this is because we still don't understand what the hell happened that the stock exchange did not run for the year of 1902. Stock exchange. Torn, look, parentheses, torn, but this isn't a photo. This is an illustration, torn down in 1901. Former public library, 1902. This is the New York, New York Public Library, founded 1902. Look at that library.
That's insane.
We've already seen this. We've already seen that. President McKinley assassinated in 1901. So we have this article about the Balkans. Natural disasters worldwide were no respecters of imperial boundaries. In February 1902, an earthquake in the Caucasus, where a century of Russian rule continued to be resented, killed 2,000 people. 3 months later, 30,000 people were killed when the town of St. Pierre on the French West Indian island of Martinique was totally destroyed in May in a volcanic eruption in Mount Pelée. A further 2,000 were killed within 24 hours of that in the nearby British island of St. Vincent when Sefrere volcano erupted. In Egypt, 20,000 people died at the same time of cholera.
Oh, I had that
showing
one.
you.
Say that one.
In British India, more than 500,000 people died of the plague in 1902. Dude, I've gone through so much data and everything is independently reported. You don't get there's nowhere online where you can look up disasters from 1902 and it's going to give you everything. You have to go to the independent countries and in the search engines and then pull it up. And a lot of times you got to dig deep.
I found another page that had stuff from Japan from 1902.
Oh, I got stuff in Japan 1902 as well. So no one here had ever before witnessed such a phenomenon. This is 1902, and all wonder whether some terrific cyclone prevailed west of us to carry up such volumes of dust and bring them great distances to thus hurl them down over so wide an area. From newspaper clippings, we learned that the mud rain was observed at Smithfield and Middle Smithfield, Pennsylvania, at the Delaware Water Gap, and at towns along the Hudson from Elizabeth, New Jersey, northward to Newburgh, and I guess that's Poughkeepsie, New York. And from Science, the Science magazine, for the month of May, 1902. Listen, this is just local newspapers, but at the exact same time, it was happening in London. It was happening across Europe, most of Asia, and all of Australia got bathed in red mud and red dust in 1902 and 1903. It's just crazy, dude, how much of this has been reported, but no one's ever put it all together into a book and just showed, look, all this happened in 1902.
I went to college about 20 minutes from Easton. It said it was viewed in Easton, too, Pennsylvania.
Yeah, here's a tsunami that happened in 1902. Here's April 1902, massive dust storm over Illinois. Eastern United States encountering rain clouds over New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, and Pennsylvania. They fell in the form of a mud shower. Here's a book on during a lunar eclipse of 1902 in October. This would be 5 months after the Phoenix phenomenon in May. All kinds of weird things are observed in the sky that you wouldn't normally see. The only reason they were able to see them was because of the eclipse. The Mount Kimbler disaster right here in July 1902. Mount Kimbler coal mine in New South Wales exploded, killing 96 men. It is the worst disaster to occur on land in Australia's history. Yeah, man. It's just so many new. Oh, here's 1902. A new star appeared in the sky. It was a red star. It was blinking like a variable star. Charles Fort wrote about it as well, and then it disappeared. What's interesting is it was in the constellation Perseus. Perseus means destroyer. Perseus is famous for the Phoenix phenomenon event of 1687 BC. I've got a few videos on that. 1902 dust storms and mud showers over the middle Atlantic. It just goes on and on, man. The Great Kosher Meat War of 1902. Even the Jews were at war about their food in 1902. What's going on? Let's see, 1902 in the Philippines, natural disasters. Following was an outbreak of rinderpest in 1902. Let's see, 90% of the work buffaloes were killed in some type of plague. 100,000 people in the Philippines died in 2 years after 1902. See, you don't see none of this anywhere, man. You got to go dig deep for all this.
Yeah.
All this is about Azerbaijan in 1902 in the Caucasus region. Earthquakes. Oh, there's 1902 again over the United States, all the dust clouds and the red mud. That's the same article about the red mud in 1902. Look at that. Red mud in Pennsylvania, April 12th, 1902. There's an actual photograph of all the red mud that fell from the sky. Oh, here's a mystery from 1902. Albert Einstein and his wife, Mileva Merrick, had a daughter in 1902 named Lucille. A month before they were married. Her existence is only discovered in 1986. Einstein is believed to have never met her, and what happened to her is a mystery. Yeah, they probably killed her because she was born out of wedlock.
Shit.
Great hero he was. Look at this. Oh, red or mud rain 114 years ago, according to this article about a dime that was issued to commemorate the event. What's crazy about it? This was 114 years earlier. The article itself was published in 2016, and it's talking about the coin commemorates a rain of red sand from black clouds over Elizabeth, New Jersey. I got pictures of the coin somewhere. I don't know where it is. That's Charles Fort. That's my hero.
Yeah, I need to get that complete works of Charles Fry. I got to get that.
Yeah, this is a Pan American Exposition 1901. Antikythera computer again discovered in 1900, cleaned in 1901, put in a basement, and then 1902 it was examined and discovered to be a computer. Over 2,000 years old. Anyway, that's just a little visual deal through 1902. I'm gonna tell you now. I can't believe I survived that because my bladder's telling me that I've drinking too much coffee.
I didn't want to ask.
And too much. I drank this water. I drank a cup of coffee, and I drank this protein drink right here. So it's time for me to go.
All right, man.
It's time for me to go, or I'm gonna have a mud flood.
So listen, watch the trailer for that Return to the Phoenix, the 1982 show. It's only like 3 minutes long, so watch that when you get a chance, and then try and watch that video that I put up on mine last night. And it's got all kinds of, it's probably got 10 different phoenixes on there from like 10 different cultures and pictures and shit, but you'll like it.
All right, man. This has been a great presentation. 2 hours and 21 minutes. Hey, bro, we did it.
Damn right.
We did it, man. So I'm going to go ahead and say goodbye to you, man, and we'll see you back on the channel in the future when we have something, when we can nerd out on something else. And,
appreciate it.
All right, Keith, man, later.
Thanks for the hospitality, man. See you.
Yeah, man. I like Keith. Pulled him straight out the chat one time, pulled him onto the channel. It's great. We've done 2 fantastic videos together. I'm impressed with that. So I'm going to hit my errand ad, and I'm going to go because I got to use the bathroom. Love you guys. I guess you got 48 hours to join Cypher or not, and that's about it. You can see her links in the description box right after I get back from the bathroom.
Your vibration can determine your experience in this reality. Work with me one-on-one to transform the energy of disturbances in the energetic field using alchemical tools that improve, center, and uplift. This is great for animals as well. Contact me, Caitlin Ross Odom, at Shen Ring Healing Arts for a free 20-minute consult.